Discipline is going to beat your motivation every time. Discipline is going to beat motivation every time. I'm going to keep saying it because we want to hear something different. We want to hear something special. We want to hear something cute. But it's so simple. And what sucks is that the fact that it's simple, it still doesn't help people accomplish it because it's not easy. Discipline is going to be motivation every single time. What up, y'all? This is the boy Jamai, and you welcome to the Manifest and Stardom. I'm tongue twisted today. Welcome to the Manifest and Stardom vlog. This is my journey to being the biggest star in the world, and then I'm taking you guys on a journey. I'm helping you, I'm inspiring you, but I'm also keeping myself on track and in line, and just trying to stay on the right path, because the truth of the matter is a lot of times we don't see the results. I've been working at music. I've been an artist for years, decades at this point. I've been working, I've been releasing music, I've been putting out music, I've been creating a brand, I've been running my businesses, and the truth of the matter is it's going to always come down to discipline, because you're not going to get the views all the time, you're not going to get the streams all the time, you're not going to get the accolades. A lot of it's going to get old. Your family not going to support you how you want, your friends not going to support you how you want. You're not going to always or readily get that response. A lot of times when you start businesses, you get a big response at the beginning, and then it trails off, or the industry shifts, or social media changes, or however you operate changes. Competition, competitors surface, but the only thing that'll help you move forward is your discipline. Because if your motivation is money, if your motivation is people's validation, if your motivation is client support and sales and influence, that fluctuates day to day, moment to moment, season to season. It fluctuates. Discipline is the only thing that's going to keep you and sustain you and propel you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I come usually with these videos after I've done my daily devotions, my prayer. I do daily bread. I do the Bible app, and then I do some scriptures that chat gives me that's aligned with my purpose, my goal, my manifestations. And so today's scripture along with this topic was Galatians 6:9. It says, so let's not be weary, for in due season we shall reap if you faint not. The New Living Version says, so let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we do not give up. And that's just the bottom line. I know we so tired of the word consistency. I know we're so tired of the word, grinding and not letting up and foot on these niggas' necks and all the stuff that we say. But it's really the simplest concept. It's just that we fail at execution. A lot of people, well, not we and not me and not you, but a lot of people fail at executing. A lot of people fail at just day in and day out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we don't realize when we see awesome performers or athletes like Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, Beyonce, Usher, we don't see the thousands of hours that they rehearse. We don't see the thousands of hoops that Kobe is shooting before the game. LeBron. We don't see LeBron training on off season. We don't see Beyonce up for 12 hours straight before her first concert of a tour. We don't see that because she's figuring out lighting and she's trying to get the choreo right. She want to get the vocals mixed right, all to be for a great live show. So I was watching a podcast, and Lena Waithe has this podcast, and I got a crazy amount of watch laters in my YouTube playlist because I like to learn, and I watch YouTube all day, constantly. Whenever I get a moment, it's YouTube. And I'm usually watching something that's inspiring or helping me or teaching me and so I watched Lena Waithe's podcast, and so I had this video on my watch later, so I just put it on while I was doing work yesterday, and it was her interview with Vivica Fox. And Vivica Fox is a legend, and that's why I love Lena Waithe's podcast, because she always interviews people that she interviews legendary actors and actresses and producers and directors and showrunners. Like, she introduced the lady that was a writer for Half and Half. She created the Half and Half show. She created Living Single. And what's that show back in the day? It was a spinoff of the Cosby Show, and it was them at school at university. If you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the name, but she was a writer on that show. And so Lena Waithe just interviews people that are not just like currently hot, but like legendary writers, producers. Anyway, she interviewed Vivica Fox, and so Vivica's a legend, and Vivica Fox talked about when she shot Independence Day, which was like her first major box office movie. She shot Independence Day with Will Smith. And she said she's not the actor that method acts. She can turn her game on and turn it off. She's not the type where she got to have a balance. And she talked about how it was on her day off, and she was in the jacuzzi, and she was drinking her wine or whatever, and Will Smith was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "It's my day off. Like, we've been shooting." And they was in like somewhere Utah, somewhere apocalyptic, because this, they were shooting in a scene for Independence Day, and it's not much to do there. So on her day off, she got her jacuzzi. She was, chilling. Will Smith saw her in a hot tub and was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "I'm chilling. It's my day off." And he was like, "We don't have days off. We don't have days off. Like, we don't get day off. We don't get a day off." And so he made her get out the pool, and they worked out. And then she was like, "I still have my wine afterwards or whatever." And in that moment, I thought about simply how, because I read Will Smith's book, and it came out right before the whole slap situation with Chris Rock. But I read his book, and he talked about how he is a maniac with his movies, with his scripts, with promoting his movies, and he's like very, very, very driven. And I thought about that one thing is what deciphers a Will Smith type career from a Vivica Fox type career. Granted, it's a man and a woman. Granted, Vivica Fox has an amazing career, and there's no way throwing shots. But it's the small difference that turns a famous movie star to a box office global. How legendary Will Smith is. It's those little moments, bro, that none of us would have known if Will Smith took a day off. None of us would have known if Will Smith did this or that. But it always shows, and it always pays off in some way. We will never know the amount of sacrifices that our greats take. And a lot of the sacrifices that they make or the discipline that they employ, you almost can't even readily tie it to their success. But it is every part of their life that they decided to get 1% better at. And so you best believe that Will Smith not taking days off when he don't have to shoot has played a part in why his career grew to where it was. You hear about stories about Beyonce where all the rest of the group members were, they teenagers, and they working for 6-7 weeks at a time, and then they got a day off, so they going to an amusement park, or they going to the beach, and Beyonce in the car writing songs on her day off. It's those little things that makes a Beyonce versus and I ain't trying to compare, but I'm just saying a Beyonce versus a LaToya or a Kelly or a Michelle. I remember I read a book about Prince. I got a lot of books on Prince, but Prince had I believe it was his band members, and this is like the early days. They went to Disney World. Prince literally didn't even leave the hotel room. He played and sat at the hotel on the balcony writing songs on his guitar while the rest of the band, the rest of the crew enjoyed Disney World. Of course, you have to find a balance somewhere at some point in your life, but in order to break through that threshold, there cannot be a balance. in order to be exceptional, now I'm speaking only of the 1%ers, I'm speaking only of the legendary, iconic people. Of course, there are people that are successful, that are wealthy, that, you know, that's like Kelly Rowland got a phenomenal career, and but then there's a Beyonce career. It's a difference, bro. And so the discipline is going to beat the motivation every time. The days off, when you know when you know you're already good enough, when you know you're already better than everybody, you know that you've already done more than enough, but you still aren't as good as the person that you see yourself in your head. That is when the discipline is the only thing that's going to get you to that space. You know what I'm saying? We wired as human beings, and the truth of the matter is, as a human being, you only have but so much motivation. In fact, you don't have a lot of it at all. It's an emotion that is fleeting. But the only way you're going to get a six-pack, the only way you're going to get a platinum album, the only way you're going to become a master at piano, the only way you're going to become a billion-dollar company is by doing what you need to do in spite of you feeling like it. And so I got a couple notes here. Motivation fades. Discipline carries vision forward. Your discipline is what carries your vision forward. Your discipline is, like I'm going to keep saying in every episode, you fell victim to whatever your systems are. Because when you have a system, you don't have to make decisions. You follow the system. When you have a system, when you have a schedule, when you have a tracking system, a habit tracking system, your daily duties, the success is the fact that you did the duty. It's not the success is not determined by the outcome of the duty. The success is determined that I did what I was supposed to do today. My success is that I posted my video and I recorded my video. My success is not whether I got 100,000 views on the video or not, because that's fleeting. That's something I can't depend on. That's something that I also can't control. What I can control is the output. What I can dedicate is one video a day. That's what I can do. And so that's a part of the system. And so it's just about showing up, man. You can't wait to feel ready. You can't wait to feel like it's the right time. You just gotta go with your system, man, and free yourself in knowing that it's okay not to feel like doing something. It's just as long as you do it. It's okay to not feel like practicing. It's okay to not feel like going to the gym. Just go. It's okay to not feel like drinking that whole gallon of water every day, but just do it. You know, you show up because that's who you are. And when you don't show up, you get the conviction, the guilt, the shame, because you weren't living up to who you say you are. And I know that for me, for sure. The amount of pressure, or the amount that I pray to God about what about what I desire, about what I want, and then for me to forfeit potentially the success or the opportunities or the blessings simply because I don't want to get up, simply because I can't manage my impulses to eat dairy or eat stupid foods that I know is not going to help me get the body that I want or the voice that I need. Or I'm manifesting, I'm desiring, I want to be a great piano player, I want to be a great dancer, I want to be a great songwriter, but I'm not dancing or practicing guitar or practicing piano or songwriting every day. You gotta be able to do your part, because if you don't, shame will follow. And that's where a lot of people get bitter. That's where niggas become haters. They start hating on other people because they not showing up for themselves. But more than anything, once you start that consistency, you change who you are, to the point where when I don't work out, when I'm not in the gym, when I'm not practicing, when I'm not creating, when I'm not being productive, I don't feel like myself. I always tell people, the worst thing I can do is to sit and watch TV and Netflix and movies and binge watch. When I'm sad or depressed, most people lay in the bed they watch TV, all that does is make me feel worse, bro. It makes me feel like trash. I cannot sit and just lounge or sulk or mope. I have to move. I have to do something. And some people say like, yeah, that's because, you attach your self-worth to your productivity, which is true. Which I will say is probably true. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably true. And that's probably not healthy. But if I don't get up and do something, I don't feel like myself, So that's just what it is. And like the last point is, you have to trust that your discipline, it compounds results. And so whenever you're consistent, your results compound on each other. You're not starting at zero. It's a snowball effect. When you get better, you get a lot better. Actually, you get a lot better, but visibly, you can't tell, because it's like somebody when they first get in the gym. You are overweight person or an not athletic person, your first month in the gym, you're going to see results immediately. But when you start working out over time, somebody like me who has more of a muscular build or more of an athletic build, the progress is not shown as easily to you, because the progress is incremental. It's not a huge, I gained 5 pounds of muscle and lost 10 pounds of fat in 2 months. Nah, that's for beginners. When you get better, when you're more advanced, the progress is very incremental. But it's incremental on top of a mountain of already conquered progress. You know what I'm saying? So somebody that's down here, they might grow this much from zero, but you're already up here and you only growing this much. You only growing this much. You know what I'm saying? And so that's okay, but it's a compounding effort on top of everything else that you are working towards. So just trust and understand that discipline is going to always be better than motivation. Discipline is going to always show up for you. Discipline is going to always be there for you. Discipline is going to always get the job done. That way, you will not be, as a human, we're naturally susceptible to ridicule or praise or hate or criticism or, negativity, but we can consciously choose to not succumb to that. We can consciously choose like, that's a lot of praise and I appreciate that. I appreciate the success. I appreciate the acknowledgments. But I know that discipline is my base, is my even kill. That don't mean that I get to, fall back because I'm at this level of success. And same with nobody watching your stuff or nobody supporting you or nobody purchasing your product or supporting your business. If your focus is discipline, the fact that ain't nobody supporting my stuff or my monthly income is not where I want it to be, if you're focused on just discipline, it won't change your level of productivity. And so that's just one of the biggest things that if we could really, really, really get a hold of, we'll be lit. We'll be lit. So just understand that, man, that discipline is far greater than motivation. So tune into another episode. You watching Manifest and Stardom. If you commented this far, if you made it this far in the comments, let me hear you right. Let me hear you right. If you made it this far, write in the comments that discipline is greater than motivation. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. We meeting every day, baby.